Well, I appreciate you jumping on here with me and doing this. So what we're kind of just looking to do is talk with our guys that have been in this kind of been in the program, talk about your experience, get a little rundown from your perspective. So yeah, I guess we can just jump right on into it. So kind of wanted to start out just with you telling us more about yourself and what you're doing with your screen business, how long you've been doing that, and just kind of giving your background there, already working in home services.
Yeah, so my main gig or business is called Screen Doc, and I've been doing that for 8 years now, full time. And it is kind of seasonal, where we were just talking about where it, slows down in the wintertime. So, but we stay pretty busy from March to October, November. Even had years where we were busy all the way through Christmas.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, before finding out about our program, did you ever consider Christmas lights? Is it even anything that crossed your mind?
I most definitely did. You see all these other businesses running around that are installing them, and I'm like, I can do my own Christmas lights. I can do other people's Christmas lights, but logistically, never really knew how to make it work.
Yeah, so I guess that's how you kind of found out about us. Do you remember how you came across us?
Um, Facebook ads,
Okay.
through the
And
Facebook ads.
so, you know, going into that, what were you kind of thinking? Oh, I found this dude on Facebook. Did you think this was legit? Did you have any concerns?
I just really wanted to make it work. Wanted to, and then from the early Facebook ads, started to see the interest, and it's starting to ramp up pretty quickly, and just kind of my go-getter personality. So I think that it just all kind of worked out.
Do you remember how many jobs you did?
I did 87 houses.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was looking at is 87, but if you take out your house and your mom's house, I guess it's 85.
Okay.
Uh,
Did I had those? I think I added those in, and then we did a neighborhood, some entrances. So a couple friends, couple neighbors, obviously, and so probably in the 80 range.
yeah. And how did you do an 80, 87? How busy did you feel like was it busier than normal weeks doing the screen stuff, or was it, you know, not as busy, or were you kind of able to mix it in?
There was a mix. I mean, there was some jobs that were more challenging than others and took more time. Others were way quicker than I thought they would be. Sometimes it worked out where everything was close and in the area. There's a few evenings and a couple weekends in there too that definitely to try to squeeze some more jobs in.
Yeah, and you did all 87 of those. It was just you and one helper. Is that right?
For the most part, yes. Around Thanksgiving and the final push there, I had some people that were off work or out of school or whatever, and we knocked a few out. So there was, but for the most part, it was me and one other guy.
That's awesome, man. And so how much revenue did that bring you in?
55,000.
Okay. And do you remember kind of what you were looking at on profit?
With initial investment and some other purchases, I'm probably right around half,
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was.
about 50%.
Yeah, that my
Cut out again.
yeah, my back of the napkin math, after your equipment expense that we were giving it to you and the fee to work with us and the ad spend, I was thinking, 25 to 30, around there after your labor cost. But still a heck of a margin for a first year. And I think you going into next season, you're going to learn so much too on like how to properly quote, and make sure that you're pricing it appropriately for those jobs that you were talking about that will take so much extra time, that looked maybe a little bit easier on paper.
Yeah, or you get a little hungry and you're trying to, do stuff. Maybe you're like, I should just jack this one up or let it go.
Yeah, yeah. And so, going into this season, we always make our, I believe last year we're doing a 25 install guarantee. Obviously, you blew through that. Did you have expectations going into it? You're like, I'm just going to put the pedal down and just see where it takes me.
I think we talked about maybe like 30 to 40 was a good spot, and I felt like I could handle that. And obviously, that was no problem at all. 25. So I would say that was the expectation, was somewhere in the 30 to 40. And then as we got going into November, it was like, whoa.
Yeah, you doubled it up.
Yeah.
Just from your marketing side that we were running. So you got 367 leads at $3 a lead. You only spent $1,100 for it. How was the marketing and stuff? Is there anything you'd want to change there?
Start a little bit later. I'm even seeing it now this year. I've probably already had 5 people reach out for estimates. And they're just looking for deals. To be honest with you, they want to see the earlier they can get in, the cheaper they can do it. Start a little bit later and tighten up the circle.
Yeah. Shrink you in a little bit, get you a little closer to home.
Yeah.
So kind of one of our main goals that we always try to do for our guys, and with this program, is the Christmas light season. It's so short. You've got you can start installing maybe early October, and then by December 10th, 15th, it really is over. There's not much to do. So what we try to do with you guys, especially, like yourself, first year installing, we just try to take you from that first base to third base where, you're skipping that learning curve. You're going straight into profitability and making, a meaningful amount of money, $25,000 in 3 months. On our program, do you feel like we did that for you? Do you feel like you kind of hopped over? Do you think you could have done that on your own your first season?
Most definitely not. It did, and it was huge. Being that I already have my own business, took all of that out that I wasn't really willing to do. Again. So it was huge. It was huge help and jump. And then when you look forward, even just with the 87 jobs that I did and what that could profit alone is more than last year.
Yeah. So, just looking at that too. So just your reoccurring for next year, going in jobs that are probably already on the books because you did them last year, is 29 grand. So there's no equipment cost associated with it. There is no marketing cost associated with it. You're going to be walking into this season with already $30,000 on the books that you should be able to run at a 75 to 80% profit margin, plus what all the new installs you're going to add. So that's kind of where what we always talk about in the program too is it's the snowball effect. And the only bad part about the business is you have to wait a year. So it is very important for us to kind of jumpstart it, get you going, and then years 2, 3, 4, 5 just are exceptional.
Yeah.
So
I think it will go quicker also. And one of the things you always said was like the takedowns are going to go quick, and they did. I could have had every single one of them down in the month of January if the customers would have allowed. So that's one thing to remember. And then just once they're already made, putting them back up's quicker.
Oh yeah.
Than building them out.
So what did you think about like the trainings and, like our systems that we put into place? Like, were they pretty easy to use? You could pick up on it pretty quick?
Yeah. As a handy guy, it's pretty simple. Watching them one time and then, a lot of it's experience. And once you get out there and get your hands on it, it just goes quicker. And
it really is like after probably 3 installs, you've got it down, and then every single one after that just gets quicker and quicker and quicker. And that's why you're able to do 87, and you probably really only did those primarily in the month of November. I think you were pretty much wrapped right after Thanksgiving.
I actually had quite a bit Early December.
Early December.
Yeah. I was surprised, like it just kept adding on, and those late season people
Well,
that they see it and they want it.
well, those are the ones you want too. They're a little bit higher price, and then that's all dropping to the bottom line. Your equipment's paid for, everything's paid for.
Yeah.
Like with your CRM and the texting communication and all that, how did that work out for you? Did that add some value and help with the kind of customer satisfaction?
Absolutely. People really liked that. That part of it, and it is very easy to use too.
Yeah, keeps you organized. And that's kind of the thing too, is walking into a business, not everyone is super tech savvy. So we try to build these things out in a way that it's pretty simple to use, but it has all the bells and whistles. It does everything that you need it to do, and saves you a lot of that admin time that usually makes these businesses kind of more hairy than they need to be.
Right. And especially if you're planning to expand and have multiple people go in different directions, and that it's definitely helpful in being able to track it. And obviously it helps you too with, on your end of it. And so,
overall, what would you say the experience was? You happy you did it? Something that you got into working with?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to getting back into it and, seeing what we can do this year.
Awesome. And to someone, that maybe watching this video or is on the fence about starting it, they're not exactly sure, what would you say to them? And you think it's worth the chance?
It's definitely worth the chance.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Anything else that's on your mind? I mean, I know we were kind of texting before the 4th of July about kind of getting things up and going for year 2 with you. Is there anything looking back on year 1 that you would like to change, do better, where we can even help you out more?
Listen to what these guys got to say, because they do know. 1, 2, watch out for the installing other people's Christmas lights. Stick to installing new ones, or make sure that they're professional installed Christmas lights. I mean, I had probably 50 new installs in the 50 to 30 range. Like 30 of those were other people's lights. I may not do half of those other ones, but there's some that are out there that the companies have just went out of business, and they're easy money.
Yeah, that is a trap that we even ourselves fall into, because it's like, early season, you're like, I don't really have much yet, and you go and you take some of those with the store-bought lights, and it is always horrible. So yeah, that's definitely, we're going to do a better job of warning our guys this year too. Like, we're not doing that. We don't do that in our own business either anymore. It's, hey, we cut them, install them, or no go.
That's the key right there, is the spacing. So anything under 12 inches, stay away from it. Like, it is just a nightmare, depending on the job itself. But 6-inch spacing. Some of the store-bought lights, I think, are even smaller than. I felt like I had one that was a 2-inch spacing, and I was ready to jump off the roof head first.
Seriously. Well, that's good, man. I appreciate you jumping on. Let you get back to the family on this Saturday. But yeah, looking forward to year 2 with you. I appreciate you sitting down and doing this with me. And if you need anything, give me a holler.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be in touch.
All right, man. Well, you have a good rest of your weekend.
All right, you too. Thanks, Cade.